Hello, hello.
Hello.
We're back again.
We're back again in this makeshift of an office that I've made with
Yeah,
the
that's the
monthly.
one. You've actually like the other wall beside you is like Toy Story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I quite
It's,
like that though. Did you do that?
I got, well, it was Jack. This was just for some people who are going to think, what the hell are you talking about? This is my grandma's house. And this was I used to live with my grandma. And when I had Jackson, this is where we lived. And this was Jackson's bedroom. And he loved Toy Story. So I got someone in, like to spray paint it so it
Yeah.
looks. And I would show you all, but I'm scared in case I move the phone, it's going to unalign everything and it'll stress me out.
Yeah,
So
don't worry. It's okay. I think we
basically,
all know what it looks like. The clouds are.
yeah, it's Andy's room on Toy Story. It's basically this room. So I'm currently sat. This really successful business owner is currently sat on a box, no, drawers of chairs. What do you call it? A chest
Chest
of
of
drawers.
drawers.
About 18 of Fireman Sam books.
I
The,
love
the
it.
table, the kitchen, not kitchen, the chair from the kitchen, and my phone, because I'm trying my best to not let shit get in the way of me carrying on with what I'm doing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
which is really, really good because actually, as you said before, we were trying to get onto this to record this, and the internet's so bad that we ended up
yeah.
using
My
your
grandma's
phone.
is shite. Basically, literally to the point where I rang BT and I was like, I is actually taking the mic. Like, what are the speeds she's getting? And they actually looked at the thing and went, I went, what? And they said, it's I think they said copper. It's copper
Yeah.
wire. It's literally something like 1 to 3 megabytes a second.
Yeah, I've had that before. I remember
Oh,
when I've had that happen when I first moved into this house years ago now, about 8 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and we had like it was like 1 megabyte or whatever it was getting, and it was absolutely fine if one person was on the internet, like you could watch something, and then all of a sudden, like let's say I was playing on a game on an Xbox, then Freddie, my wife, she would like turn on Netflix, and the whole thing had come crashing down every
honestly,
time.
wheel of death for about 15 minutes trying to
Yeah,
get in on the computer. I thought, I'm not doing this. So yeah, we're on a makeshift desk at the minute. So,
on a phone, it's good though. It works good. So what we're going to talk about today is
well, go
what's
on.
next
Sorry.
quarter?
I
Yeah,
know what
you said what's next quarter look like?
head's so shiny. It's actually the light above my head. So yeah, I'm not just
It's all right. That's bad
rich.
lighting. Like I have that same with me. If I turn on the lights above me here, like I've got like the proper show lights here because if I turn on those lights, well, first of all, like Casper, like look at that. Like
Jesus Christ.
just to
Turn
give
the
people
light-
context, let me just share that around.
turn the
Look,
light-
that like how ill I look. And then if I turn off my actual lights, I then just lose. Like I look like a skeleton.
Wow.
So yeah, not great.
But it's next quarter. We're going to talk about next quarter because
Yeah,
I don't work in December. Or I literally like
you
stop
don't.
work after the first week because I do work a lot and I do spend a lot of time away from the kids. And just a note on that, I know it's not nothing to do with it, but just like the amount of guilt I've felt over the last 6 weeks on the kids. But then I have to, because I'm obviously working Monday to Thursday and I've only been off on a Friday and I can't, because I've had all of like the last 3 months off prior. I can't take time off. And I'm sat feeling dead guilty and I thought, hold on, we've had 6 solid weeks of holiday together. Like I need to stop feeling like because everybody else is doing it that's what I should be doing.
It's
Like
mum guilt, isn't it? People
like
talk about mum
different.
guilt's a real thing. Like I speak to so many women in what I do who, and especially like now, who like advisors and stuff, and they've got real mum guilt. Like there is a thing of like, what if like you're working, but oh my gosh, and I agree with.
No. Save this. We need this to be an episode because to be
This is
really
an episode. Shall I write this down? Let me write it let me add it to the planner so we carry on. Because
that'll
we're
be
going
an
off
episode.
mum
You've just
guilt.
you just said don't make it dead long, so
Yeah,
don't start.
because the last week's was really long, and
Yeah.
so we'll. But I've just wrote that on the list now. That's a good one.
It is. So
All right.
anyway, so I've been feeling
So
bad.
quarter.
Yeah. And then I always think I spend we always go on at least 2 holidays a year together. So spend quality time because I know that they don't see me a lot through the week in terms of Monday to Thursday. And then Christmas, whenever the kids break up, I break up. Like I want to do the full build up to Christmas. Like literally, I love Christmas. So my next quarter is September, October, November.
Also, though, you've been switching networks every Christmas since I've.
Oh, I've actually I've moved networks once.
No, I think we went first Christmas. I think you were going self-employed,
I was, yes.
and then the second Christmas we moved networks.
Yeah. So I've always now it's
So
just
whenever we've always had our last call, because
Yeah.
it's always the first week of Christmas is our last call, and you always go. And do you know what? Both times, this is ridiculous. This is like an insight to our life. Both times, that session is you actually normally lying on your bed, and you're like, I'm not doing anything. Like literally, you look both every year so far. This will be our third year of Christmas where you've been like,
I'm out.
yeah, nothing to do. And the year before, I think you was eating. You'd given sweets to everybody, and then you'd had a packet as well, and you're like, I'm just sitting here eating sweets. Got nothing to do.
Once Home Alone goes on, we literally once 1st of December, Bailey's, Home Alone, and then I'm out. Literally, my head's on Christmas, and I love it. I love Christmas. It's so magical, and especially when the kids are young, I don't want to miss a moment of it because it is so precious. It's one day a year, but the build up is just as exciting.
The build up is the best bit.
Yeah. So anyway,
go on. So Karen, let's talk about quarter. Let's go back to business.
Yeah. September, November, and I want to, obviously, we've had the announcement of all the new advisors that we've had, and that's going to take up a lot of my time. Making sure that they're confident, comfortable, like with their advice and what they're doing. And it's been very, very mixed over the last few months. And it's because, right, so basically I've had to take on staff, but at the same time not lose the amount of volume I'm doing because I need to be able to pay for all the things that come with having new staff.
Yeah.
And it's been very, like back and forth and trying to like muggle through it. And now we're at a point where I can start actually training them and showing them how I would do it, giving them the advice that I wish I'd had. And I'm excited for it. I really am, because I know it's going to be amazing. But at the same time, it takes time, and it means that you're not spending time doing all the things I've still got to do in a day. Now I've got to find more time to do with the girls. Yeah. And on top of that, and I've never spoke about it because I don't want. I hate, you know what I'm like. I hate the X Factor sob story and because they've got a sob story, but. Like, it has been really, really hard that this year, ridiculously. Like, my grandma, who is so close to me, like, literally, she's my favourite person in the world. She got diagnosed with cancer in November and was told it was terminal in December. And then she tried to have chemo in January, and that was unsuccessful, just hospitalised her. Made her honestly just put her in a really bad position. So she denied any chemo and then was given 6 to 9 months to live. So I've obviously felt a lot of stress outside of work because there's nothing more important to me than making sure my grandma knows right now that my grandma knows she's loved and that I'm here for her. And this is why I'm at the house, because that's why I went to Australia. Yeah. So I went to Australia. Everyone was like, I wasn't meant to be going to Australia. I went to Australia because my grandma would see my brother. And I needed to make that happen. And then when we were in Australia, she had a stroke, which was horrendous. And then we come back, and then obviously I've been away. And then last week, just before her birthday, she had another stroke, and this one was a bit worse. And it's just like getting really, like, it's horrendous. It's horrendous to watch. It's horrendous for her. It's horrendous for everyone involved in it. And at the same time, it gives you like a gut wrench, and like I'm talking about now, I've got a gut wrench in my stomach because as a business owner and as I'm self-employed, we'll just take time off, like, well, just go and stay with her. Well, yeah, I could, yeah. But I've also got an extension that I'm doing, and I've also got 3 children. I've also got a mortgage, and I've also got ladies now who are responsible for and who are dependent on me helping them. So throw that in with everything that's going on, and it gets very, very difficult, and just it's not always easy. And I don't always show, like, I'm very open, and I'll always tell you what's hard, and I'll always be honest with that was hard work and this was this, but I'm very deep in terms of I would never normally tell anyone like the other side of it, like the personal side, like what's difficult that I'm trying to fight through. And work's been a bit of an escape for me for the last year because like it's just awful. But at the same time now I'm stuck and I'm like, I'm working from my grandma's house and because I want to be with her, but I've also got these ladies who I need to train, and I've just signed offices that I need to be at, and it's like
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, the next quarter is going to be a
Crazy
muggled mess. I think literally, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm going to be like, we're aiming for this target and we're going to do this. No. If I see December, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Because on top of that, obviously, it's going to be award season. There's loads of things that you've got to. I'm going to be in. I think up to now, I'm in London 6 times over the next 12 weeks.
Oh gosh, yeah, because I forgot. Of course, it's award season. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
That sucks because when I never see you in awards season, there's like the whole thing. It's like never, because you are just back. You're at back and forth. How many of you are you been nominated for any yet? I mean, you know you have, but
I know I've been shortlisted for a couple, but I've also been asked to be a judge, and then just like go and be a guest. I don't know whether I'm going to be in those awards or not, but like amazing things, and I love it. Like I've said loads of times, like I really enjoy going to awards because when you're on your own doing this business, you feel like there's not many people you can relate to. And when you go to those types of things, you can relate to people, and it's nice to remind yourself that you're part of something that's bigger, even though you're not actually a part of it together, but you are part of the industry.
I think it makes a difference. I think you need those awards. I find it's the reason why I niched back into financial services is those things. I miss it. There's a community. You miss this. You need the community around, you know, like going, and I go to Alex Curtis's stuff and I like that. You don't have to all be getting on, but you do those awards, those events, the camaraderie. I think when you're a one-man band or a small business, you need them. So I think, and I think the FS where you are, the industry you're in the same industry I'm in, really, it's in a wonderful. It is a great place. There's some wonderful people in there, and there's some absolute idiots too. But there are some wonderful people.
Yeah, it's been more positive than negative, but
I think so. Yeah,
it's nice. I don't want to not go, but at the same time, obviously, with what's going on, you know, you've got grandma, 3 kids, the extension, the business, 5 staff, the actual
offices,
yeah, everything else. Like my head feels like it's a bit of a, you know, like a boiling pan, and I'm trying to like do things to control as much as I can in terms of like. Keo said to me the other day, I've been getting up and going for sunrise walks with my friend, like getting up at like 4:30 in the morning, picking up at 4:45, going for a walk. But then I'm not, and then I'm working at like 11 o'clock at night. And Keo, I was setting an alarm, and he was like, "Why are you doing this? Like, you're gonna." He's obviously concerned for me. He's like, "Stop it!" Like,
out, yeah.
And I said, "No, but I need it. Like, I need to have something that's for nobody else. Like, I need to have something where this isn't about business, not about family, it's not about the kids. It's just I am going for a walk because I like to get up and know that everybody else is still sleeping and I'm doing something for me and it's not affecting anyone." And it's just like little things like that. Or obviously, I don't want to stop, but yeah, I'm just, this quarter is going to be an extremely hectic 3 months.
I think those things, that walk though, is quite an important one. I know you called me crazy earlier off air, but like that's why it's so funny. That is why I started doing the river jumping in the water thing in the morning, because it sounds so silly, but you know, like with yourself, if you're hectic and you're dealing with, I'm just always in front of lights and I'm listening to something. I'm either teaching people. I work with like 30 one-to-one clients. I'm either teaching them about their advice or I'm learning about what they need to know next. And that was the same thing. So I completely get that, because you're a busy person. And there was something I said to Freddie, I said, I leave my phone. I would take my phone with me, but I leave my headphones. And I just like to sit and not listen to anything, like, and just sit and listen to noises of animals and things. And I was like, you need it, because otherwise I found that I was just, you can only keep running so long before things start to, it's like a car, really. You know, you can only drive a car so long before the wheels are going to start coming off, no matter how good it is. So I think it's a tough one. It's a really hard one with that. But I think you said you just got to power through this quarter. You're doing some incredible things. And
yeah, you don't want to, it's that expectation, like you set the expectation of yourself to that. You don't know, like you said, it's okay, we won't do this week's episode because you know it's been a bit.
Yeah, but we're here though, aren't we? As well, you did
but
it.
I won't not because I can't. Like, if I feel that, that means I'm losing control. And
I agree.
this is one part of my life I can control, like what's going on with our grandma, what goes on health-wise. Like, I have no control over. And this part, I can.
That's a really good advice, though, for people, though, Karla, because that's something that, again, I was chatting to Freddie about this yesterday. My wife was saying literally, like I was watching this podcast, and this guy said, you've got to get the little things in your life right, because you can't do the little things right. He said, if you can't get, he was saying things like making your bed and stuff. He was saying, if you can't get the little things right, you're never going to get the big things right. And he said, and when things go wrong in your life, it's silly, but those little things, like waking up and making your bed, waking up and walking, doing this once a week, he said they are anchors that can lock you in to keep you moving forward, because when you're kind of foggy and you're not thinking of things, which I have had lots of times, and people do have, and people listen to this will have the same thing, is it's like one foot in front of the other. It keeps pulling you. It's like a weird thing that pulls you forward, even though you're like, oh, I'm not really feeling it.
You're not, like, I know, being totally honest, if I lose my consistency, that's it, game over. Like, I've always vowed from the moment I started this, I will never not be consistent. Have to be consistent.
You've always been consistent.
And if I lose that, then what have I got? Like, that to me just like blows my mind. So no matter what's going on, I need to make sure that, obviously certain situations are unavoidable, but I mean in terms of, if I like didn't do this week, so obviously didn't do last week because of this, what happened with my grandma. And
no, but it still came out. There was still an episode.
No, I know, but I mean, like,
me and you doing, we didn't do ours. Yeah.
If I don't do it, it ruins the. In my head, I just think, well, where's the line then? So where do you stop not doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to keep that, like you say, that anchor. But I will just say, like, and again, so many people have said to me, like, with obviously what's going on with grandma, like, it would be a really good awareness and like to put out there. I'm not using what's happening with my grandma as a social media post. I'm just not. But I will say a shout out to AIG, because I insured our grandma when I first started, and they paid out on a terminal illness benefit, and they were absolutely incredible, like so lovely, so understanding, literally couldn't do enough to make sure that it was done as quickly as possible, like didn't ask for ridiculous amounts of information. It was just like, just shows the confirmation, and it was paid within like 24 hours after they like accepted it. Just like little things like ringing me, because I was the one who was dealing with it on her behalf, like ringing me to like ask if I was okay and to make sure that I was happy with everything they'd done and things. Unbelievable. And this is again another example of when people say insurance doesn't pay out. Yes, it does. Yes, it does pay out. It just needs to pay out on the right policy that's being done correctly. And my grandma's was done correctly and it was paid out, but AIG were unbelievable. So thank you very much to them.
That's good. Any parting words before we end this one?
Consistency is key, and control is very underrated. You need to keep the little bit of control you've got in your life, because running a business is not control. Having something for you keeps you under control. So don't underestimate it.